opening statement, and then we'll open up for some questions.
You know, we struggled tonight. I thought Notre Dame did a great job of turning us over, and getting out in transition, having 23 points off those turnovers, really hurt us. Obviously, the third quarter was the quarter that we struggled. Were able to get separation, and then we just weren't able to close it. Defensively, we struggled to execute, and I thought just gave up too many open looks, too many defensive breakdowns for us. And so a tough loss for us, but we play again really quickly, and so that was my message after the game, is a forward focus. We have a short lead time here to prepare for our next game. We've got to regroup mentally and physically and get ready for Syracuse.
All right, we'll open up for a few questions.
Hey, Coach. Neither Lucio or Ashland scored until about 5 minutes left in the game. Can you talk about what Notre Dame did well to take them to it out of the game?
Yeah, I thought they forced us to play hesitant. We kept trying to just implore all of our players to be aggressive, and that was a challenge for us, to get anyone other than Regan to be aggressive against the zone. I thought Regan's aggression, even though she had 6 turnovers, was good, looking to drive seams and get into the lane. What you don't want to do is just stand out there and jump shoot all night. You want to be able to get to the paint and be able to make good plays. So, none of our guards outside of Regan, I thought, was as aggressive enough attacking as we needed to be.
Following up on that, can you talk about Hannah Hidalgo in particular and how she affected that aggressiveness like you were just talking about?
Yeah, top player in our league, and certainly able to force turnovers. I thought their whole team, not just Hidalgo, but Citron as well, had 4 steals. I thought it was a team effort by them to just disrupt us, be in the right places, and get their hands on some steals and also some deflections. And we didn't handle that pressure well.
I think we're kind of circling back on some things we already discussed, but in particular, that 14-0 run they had in the third period, they were able to capitalize. Seems like on every mistake, every deflection, every miss, every loose ball. Was it just a question of them being so precise that you couldn't counter it? What was going on there?
Yeah, I tried to call timeout. I think it got to 5 maybe, or 7. Called one to try and settle us because I didn't like what I was seeing out there in terms of the open looks they were getting. And so I think it was a combination of things, some turnovers and then some breakdowns by us defensively. I don't have all those plays in my head right now to be able to tell you exactly what each one were. Certainly we'll look at the film, but they definitely are a team that offensively is one of the more talented teams in our league and capitalized on our mistakes.
You mentioned the Syracuse game Thursday. This is the first time, I believe, the first time you've lost consecutive games since early December. What's the message you mentioned moving forward? What's the key part of it moving forward to make sure that doesn't turn into a 3-game losing streak?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm most concerned with how we play than I am with result. That's always how I am. I've been consistent with that. I'm most concerned with how we play. Do we play with the appropriate level of effort and focus and discipline? If we do that, we could do that on Thursday and still lose. That's what happens against good teams. You're not guaranteed to win because you play hard. We've got to get that back. We didn't have that tonight. And so that's my fault as a coach, that we didn't have it tonight. I've got to get us to get that back on Thursday. If we can get that back on Thursday, then hopefully we can make it a game up there. If we don't get it back, we'll get blown out. That's what this league is. You don't play with great competitiveness, you will not win. And to be quite honest with you, you don't deserve to win. Think about it. If you're in a competition and you don't play competitively, you think you should win? I don't. Honestly. If you do, you're probably learning a bad lesson. Cutting corners and still getting wins. It's not what it takes. You need to really, really, really be focused. So that's my job. I did a poor job of it. I didn't have them ready to play tonight. And that's what I'm looking for. I am looking for us being ready to play. And honestly, when we're ready to play, I am content with results, win or lose. But I think in the teams I've been around in my lifetime, I played and coached, if you play with great competitiveness and urgency, you win more than you lose. You do. You win more than you lose. And so we've got to get back to that. We could play well and lose on Thursday. We could play well and lose on Sunday. We could play well and lose the next Thursday. That's how good our league is. So I'm not as much focused on being tight about whether we win or lose. I'm more focused on getting our rhythm back.
Coach, I saw a few really nice cuts by Jaden Donovan. I think maybe in the third quarter there were a few on the backside of the zone. What do you like about Donovan being able to cut through a zone defense like that and set up opportunities for other players?
Well, she's a very smart player, and she understands spacing. She's also a very good finisher. If you've watched her play this year, she can finish right and left and reverse, come underneath and finish, and so that gives us a nice weapon on the back of the zone. I don't think we got that enough, but you credit them too. They did a good job of shutting stuff down when it started to work for us. So Jaden's an elite athlete. She's got elite intelligence in terms of how to see the game and how to read, and we want to keep giving her opportunities to impact the game. And this was one of her best rebounding games. I mean, I thought she really rebounded it well. That added a lot to us. I thought just starting the break and pushing it.
So people talk about Hidalgo's defense from today, but Kennedy Brown had 2 steals and 5 blocks. Can you just talk about what she offers as a defensive anchor?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the common theme of our team, everyone loves to talk about our defense over the last couple of years, statistically in the nation. And, we were one of the top defenses last year, and we're one of the top defenses this year. But we've had wholesale changes to the roster. And so what's been the thing that stayed the same? It's Kennedy. Kennedy's been our best defensive player for 2 years. And she's the anchor of our defense. She's the reason why our defense is what it is. A lot of times she doesn't have those stats that you talk about, like the eye-popping steals or the eye-popping blocks. But she positionally, within our scheme, she's our quarterback on defense. She calls our coverages. She gets all of them in the right place. And she does that a lot, especially early in the year with freshmen. She was telling everyone where to go and what to do. She covers for people. She's very technically sound defensively. Like I said, the main reason we've had the best defense in the league the last 2 years has been Kennedy. So I'm hopeful she'll be appreciated in that way, because she is really, really playing the game at an elite level on that end. You have to just be a little more of a nuanced viewer, I think, to notice that, because it's not just counting stats. And you guys know, if you're a nuanced viewer, counting stats doesn't always tell you the story of a player's impact. Sometimes it does, but steals sometimes are created by pressure on the ball, and sometimes the player with the steal is the beneficiary of other people doing the right thing. And so she just does things solidly and is in the right place 99% of the time, and we're fortunate to have her.
You mentioned, Coach, that Regan was one of the only guards, especially, that showed that aggressiveness that you were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from in this situation? And do you hope that you can kind of continue to take that confidence that she's been building this season and stack it here in this next few games with such a difficult stretch?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt that when Regan plays well offensively, we're just tougher as a team to guard. She is our most gifted offensive player if you just look at every skill offensively. Regan can obviously make threes. Her pull-up jumper is really good. She can finish right. She can finish left. She's a very sound defender too. She's our second best defender after Kennedy. And her rebounding could improve if I was going to nitpick with Regan. Her rebounding could get better and more consistent. But she's a very impactful player. And so we needed all her points because, like I said, before it got to the fourth quarter, we weren't aggressive, and Reagan was. So, yeah, just want her to keep being aggressive, keep playing confidently. She's at her best when she's playing confidently, and we need her experience. Being a junior, you get late in February, and as much as people will say freshmen or sophomores now and all that stuff, I don't even know what that means because I think they're still freshmen. But you need your upperclassmen to play well at the end of the year. You can't wait for someone to get mature. You need your seniors and your juniors to play well. That's what you count on. And so to see her starting to trend up is a great sign for me because we need Reagan, and we only have 3 upperclassmen now. We'll have 3 of them, 8 of our 11 freshmen sophomores. So we need Reagan and Kennedy and Camilla to play really consistent for us. When I say play well, I'm not talking about scoring. Sometimes you score and shoot it well, sometimes you don't, but just their attack and their aggressiveness and defensively. So it was good to see her be in attack mode tonight.
Any more questions for Coach? All right, thanks everyone.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.